Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Not good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. We'll start that again. Hello.
Oh, sorry, I was doing my hair.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, we are so glad you guys are with us for this week's episode. It's going to be a little bit different. This week we are going to be talking about our friendship and our relationship and how we became the Sanders.
Well, not quite up to the Sanders point yet, but how we became two
boyfriend and girlfriend.
A thing. You know.
We're getting into it. We're going to just start with our relationship.
And we're going to have a fun game. So, the question actually begins, and honestly, the greatest relationships come from great friendships.
This is true.
Now, not meaning that you get friend zoned and then all, but you have to be really good friends to get into, whatever. You have to be really good friends to get into a good relationship.
Yes.
So, Shantae, when did we actually meet?
So, we have two different timelines of when we met.
Two different memories, I would think.
Yeah, it's still a different timeline because your timeline's sooner than mine.
So when I moved down to Sacramento, didn't really know a lot of people, but got involved in a Bible study that was being held at one of the pastors at our church, Pastor Jesse Armstrong. She's awesome.
She is awesome.
And we were at the Bible study, and I distinctly remember being at the Bible study and Shantae and her sister coming to the Bible study. And I was like, who is this beautiful woman? Obviously, at the time, I was like, how am I going to meet her? I got to know her name, said hi, and we just kind of saw each other off and on. I remember just kind of seeing her at the Bible study off and on. So that was my memory of first meeting Shantae. What was your memory?
So my memory of meeting Caleb was probably 9 months later, I want to say, when we were both helping out at our church during our Christmas play. Me and my sister were dancing, and Caleb was helping with backstage directing and stuff like that. So
basically hurting all the kids.
Right. So that's when I remember meeting him, and it was kind of funny because when I seen him when we were, getting ready to do a rehearsal or whatever.
So my first memory of Shantae, I remember being like, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she loves the Lord. That's my first memory. What was your first memory of me, really?
I thought he was cute, and I thought he was nerdy, which I have a type, and I like nerdy guys.
Because no, you didn't notice me really until that day because I wasn't feeling totally well.
He had his glasses on.
I had my glasses on.
So I love him in his glasses. It's literally one of my favorite things.
And I hate wearing them.
And he hates wearing his glasses, but I feel like I get to see him. Well, now I get to see him a lot more in his glasses because we're married, and when he takes out his contacts, he has to put his glasses on because he's blind. But I got to see him with his glasses on, and he had his little index card, and he was reading.
What was I studying?
It was Chinese lettering or something like
that.
The
Chinese language stuff, all the calligraphy.
Yeah. See, why do I remember that? Because I thought he was really cute, and I had asked him, and he was telling me, and he was looking, and he was flipping in, he was working on. It was right. He was getting ready to take his finals or something because it was December. So that's when I remember meeting him. But I always feel bad because I always go, I literally do not remember you before then. Honestly, I think I'm probably had seen him at the church, but nothing where I felt like we had interaction.
That hurts.
I know.
That hurts.
But I thought he was really cute. And so during the play, I would intentionally come out of the room where everyone was at, and I would sit down and start have conversation. Not I was trying to get at him. I just thought he was cute, and I just thought it'd be really nice to talk to someone aside from children during that time. So I would go out and talk to him and keep him company.
And so we kind of just started talking and hanging out and got to know that wow, she isn't just beautiful and love the Lord. She's interesting and creative and very funny and amazing dancer. So we kind of got to know each other just a little bit off and on. You kind of helped out a little bit in kids ministry. I remember you kind of tried it out.
I tried it out because I was working out of school during that time, and I was like, oh, I love working with youth because they actually understand sarcasm. But I was working at an elementary school and really loved the kids. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I should get involved with our kids ministry. But the way that things worked out, and then I started an internship at our church, it just worked out like better for me to continue working with youth, do the internship at the church, and continue working at the elementary school. So we didn't really get super involved that way, but we did still go to the same young adults Bible study. And so we would still see each other there. And then with me being at the church, he worked at the church because they had a school there. No,
that wasn't. Yeah, so no,
there.
I was just working in the children's department as the assistant director,
right,
while I was still getting my master's degree. And so that's why I was studying Chinese.
Yes.
Was part of my master's degree in world history.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't need it, but it just was fun because you're at college. Take language courses, especially when it's Chinese.
Right. So we had a whole year of just like us being like,
and it was in that time
friends.
period you saw me with all of my crazy kids ministry stuff. Like there was one time I remember it was at Easter, and she walks in. I think you were doing a dance in the main service or something.
Yes, for
and
Easter.
She walks into the kitchen to like get ready for something, and I'm there wearing a cardboard egg costume with white tights. And white flats. No, it was all white because I was supposed to be in the egg. Right. And then I, she saw me. She's like, "What in the world?" And
I saw his legs.
You like my legs, don't you?
Stop.
Anyways, so you just saw me with all this crazy stuff, and it was a different side of me. It wasn't just nerdy, but it was also ministry, have fun.
Okay,
crazy.
So I don't fault him for working in kids ministry because it's what he loves to do and it's his passion and stuff like that. But it definitely made me like not think he was as cute anymore because I was like, who is this weird guy in the tights in an egg costume?
Kids ministry. All you kids ministers out there, you know what I'm talking about. And you love it now.
No, but
anyways,
I accept it.
But anyways, we were getting to know each other and just being able to start talking to each other more than just church stuff. And so there was one Sunday we were at church. I was cleaning up some stuff, and you were in the kitchen after like a youth event, and we were talking. We were kind of bantering back and forth. So we were in the kitchen, and a friend of ours came in and was like, "You two are bickering like a dating couple." It was like, "Oh, yeah, that's funny," and we kind of like went our separate ways. And I got home that night and I started thinking about it. I'm like, Shantae's beautiful. She's funny. She loves the Lord. We make each other laugh. Why don't we try dating or something? So it was within that next week that I was at church and I asked you to coffee. And you weren't expecting like an actual like date.
No, I wasn't. Actually, I wasn't expecting anything because like, yes, we have talked a few times, but it was never like, and we like did have very funny banter. But I just always just thought that was just kind of my personality because I also had not the same but similar banters with other guys at the church because that was just my personality. So when he asked me to coffee, I was like, okay, cool. Like maybe he just wants to get to know me, or you never know. I mean, you never go into those situations just expecting guys to like you or anything like that. Like, I always tell people I like people to know me for my personality and not for the way that I look. And so whenever I do anything, it's always based on my personality. Like I never try to play like the pretty girl card or anything like that. Like I want people to respect me more for my personality than the way that I look. So when he did that, like, I was like, okay, well maybe he just wants to, meet more friends because I know he's not from here and stuff like that. So then when he asked me to coffee, I was like, sure, great. Like I didn't even let him buy my coffee. I think I even like offered to buy yours that time and was just like, yeah, let's just hang out and see, and talk.
Which we did. And what you were saying about your personality, which is one reason why I was really attracted to you, was because those of you guys who don't know, Shantae, you modeled for several years after high school, some through college, and any women who I'd ever met who'd been like modeling were very self-centered. Not all, but many were self-centered, and you didn't come across that way at all.
No.
And so that was one thing as well that really attracted me. And so I kind of asked you out, and you were like, okay, yeah, let's just see where this is going, because we knew each other, we weren't fully friends yet.
Right.
And so we kind of went out on some dates here and there and stuff.
So my biggest thing that when he had asked me, I said, well, I don't really know you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be more intentional about hanging out as friends and see where that goes.
Because we weren't fully friends yet.
We weren't fully friends yet. It was just kind of like acquaintance because we went to the same church. We were both involved in church, but we didn't really like know each other.
Yeah. And so we kind of hung out off and on, and I thought it was going well. We were just kind of hanging out, but we also were both very busy.
Very busy.
And so it was several months. This went by. It was a couple months. We kind of went out every once in a while, hanging out. Went to some basketball games. Went to coffee a lot. Went out to dinner, a few things. But
no dinner.
No, we went out to dinner, but I didn't make you dinner.
No dinner.
We went to Chipotle before the Kings game. See? Chipotle.
That was one. But yes.
Anyways. So I was really interested, but then there were some things about me at the time that because I was in a master's in history program, which means that I was reading a lot of history, like literally one semester I had to read 50 books that are about 500 pages about history. And
a specific history.
Yes.
It's not like he read it about all the world and all the different types of history that happened in the world.
I did have
not saying that you didn't, but what did you get your master's degree in?
So I got my master's degree in world history with a minor emphasis in Japanese history.
Right. And
I also love Chinese history. So those were like the two go-to things I would talk about, because I grew up in a family that talks a lot. Love you guys. And you will be the first to agree that we would talk a lot as a family.
Like, it would just be like, I would say something and he'd be like, oh, so back in the 1600s.
I feel like it wasn't that. It just was what sticks out. So, long story short, because we could be on this topic a long time.
We could be on this topic for a long time.
It took several months, and you approached me and just said, hey, you were working like 2 jobs at the time. 3 with ministry, because at the church you were doing 3 jobs. And just said, hey, I think we should just be friends. It just isn't the right time. And I've been there many times, and I was like completely understood.
Yeah, very understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But what he didn't know is, like, I did text my sister and was like, yeah, I don't think I could date Caleb.
Because I was
boring.
Anyways, it was soon after that. Now, and we stayed friends, and we went to the Bible studies and stuff.
Yes.
But it was only a few months after that my brother actually passed away. That's a whole nother story if we just talk about family tragedies.
Yeah.
That could be a long video, because I know many of you go through these things, and I think a lot of relationships are made and broken through tragedy.
Yes.
And so my brother passed away. I came back, took care of all that. Came back, and I was working at the school that was at our church at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Shantae, you were working there now full time. And I would start coming up during lunch, and we would start talking about things. And Shantae, with the loss of my brother, was able to see a different side of me that was a lot more serious, family oriented, dealing with grief in different ways. And
yes, it definitely did help me see a different side to Caleb. Like, I was able to see his strength through all of it. I know, like, personally, when I go through, things, it's easy for you to let your emotions, take toll over you. And Caleb was very strong. And yes, you can see that, it did take a toll on him, but he was very strong through it all. And so I very much respected him because of that, and was just more, I got to see a completely different side of him. Like, it wasn't just the nerdy history side of him, or
the goofy kids ministry.
No, or the goofy kids ministry side of him. It was a completely different side of him that I really grew to respect.
Mm. And so it was through that we actually became truly friends.
Yeah.
Through that time of just getting to know each other, you supporting me, us growing together. And so
separately growing
together as friends, because you could hopefully sense a theme here. And I remember I continued, because obviously I still was attracted to Shantae. And of course. And I had just through this already liked her personality, but just got to know her more as a believer and a thinker and supporter. And so all these things. And so I decided to, I thought sneakily.
What happened was, remember, we had a friend who went through something.
I saw Shantae sitting with this friend for a couple hours at a Bible study, literally just loving on this person and praying with them and just being there for them. And I saw her heart for people like I'd never seen it before. Like, I knew your love for God, I knew your love for ministry and stuff, but to see your love for people, that was something I was like, this woman is just amazing. You read about Proverbs 31 wife, and this is what you think about. Go read that chapter. There's a lot of stuff about Proverbs 31 woman. Anyways, and so I decided, I was like, you know what? I, at the time, was having issues with fashion. So I was like, hey, Shantae, you did fashion retail and modeling. Could you come and help me pick out some stuff? And it was very obvious what I was doing. So we went and hung out, and we started hanging out more, and I expressed interest again at coffee. So we were hanging out and getting to know each other more, and we're starting to get,
so
I would say, more serious.
He, like, for sure, like, re-asked me, and I, like, thought about it and was like, you know, Caleb's is great. I got to see a new side of him. You know, he's dressing a whole lot better. He doesn't talk so much about history. Yes, I still thought he was an attractive guy, though he didn't look like this. I don't even know. Did you even have your facial hair?
I had the beard by then. It was after the trip to Nepal.
That's
Remember,
right.
I came back from a missions trip to Nepal, and we could even spend a video talking about mission trips because we've both been on a couple amazing mission trips. Not together yet.
No.
But someday. And I came back, and our pastor at the time was like, Shantae, doesn't Caleb's beard look good? Because I grew it. I call it my Nepal beard. And she was like, yeah, it looks really good. And I was like,
it framed his face
I'm
really
keeping
well.
the beard, but I had hair back then. It was going away, but I was working with it. So I wasn't completely bald. Anyways, so we were getting more serious.
Yeah.
This is where you take over.
Okay.
This.
Gosh, this is it. Okay, so anyways, we were getting more serious, and we had actually went on an actual date where he picked me up and he brought me flowers, and we went out for sushi, and we played miniature golf. So one thing that Caleb doesn't like to tell people, you know what? No. One thing Caleb doesn't like to tell people, he's really good at sports, or I don't know, what do you call it? You know, active things. Like he's very good at these things. Like, I don't like to play basketball with him because he's really good at it. I don't like to play any kind of shooting games or anything. I don't like it because he never just lets me win, which I don't want to just win. Exactly. I want to beat him.
Exactly. So if she knew slightly that I would let her win,
he didn't though. So we went miniature golfing.
And went to K2,
I don't even want to talk about K2. I'm talking about the miniature golf. And he didn't let me win. And I was like, excuse me? But at the same time, I was like...
You wouldn't have respected me if I just let you win.
This is very true. So, he won.
Yeah.
And I was very upset, but not at the same time. But I mean, I really did like that. Because it makes me want to, try my best to beat him. And I will.
I thought you wanted to punch me. That's what you did.
No, I just want to try my hardest to beat him is what I was doing. But, I'm also really good and stuff like that.
And very competitive.
And I'm extremely competitive. But so is he.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have issues. We can't play on opposite teams. We have to be on the same team, or unless it's boy against girls. Those are the only two, options for us.
And then the smack talk comes out.
And
every New Year's. Usually.
Yeah, usually, I know.
So we were getting closer.
And
I remember there was one day in particular. It was a Saturday.
Yes.
We met for breakfast. Yeah. We went to a really nice waffle place in Natomas. Waffle experience. Amazing. I'd never been there before. So we did that. We hung out and had a great time. We went back to the church parking lot, actually, because Shantae had never learned how to drive a stick shift, which I drive a manual car. Love it. Yeah. It's a millennial anti-theft device, okay?
It very much is.
Hardly anybody drives one, so there you go. And so I was teaching you, were kind of getting it, and we were just having fun and laughing, and we kind of went our separate ways, and it's just like, man, that was so much fun. It was just like, in my heart, I was like, this is really going somewhere. And then Sunday happened. What happened on Sunday, Shante?
Okay, so before we went to Waffle Experience, I told some friends that we had been hanging out, and they were like, Caleb? Really? Why? And in my head, I was like, oh, like, should I not? Do people see something, you know, that I've not seen? Or do they, like, think he's, like, weird? Or is it me? Like, do they just don't think that we, you know...
And granted, I am weird, but, like, cool weird.
Anyways, and so, like, I just started, like, overthinking things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I texted him, like, hey, how are you? He was like, good. And I was like, hey, do you want to get coffee in between services? And he was like, yeah, sure. And so I was like, great.
So it's like 10:30.
It's like, yeah, it's like 10:30. We meet up at Starbucks down the street from our church. And I'm like, and we're like just having like talk, like we're just talking, you know, having conversation and stuff like that. And I go, so I don't think we should see each other anymore. And the look on his face.
I just like went from smiling happy to all of a sudden.
Like I felt like I told him Santa Claus wasn't real or something.
Where'd this come from? All that. And so I was like, and for me, I'm a very feely person, like very in terms emotional. Of my emotions.
Yeah.
I hate it.
He cried.
So I started to tear up. It was just like, because it was just out of nowhere. It was like, so I think we need to just be friends. And then, so I started getting emotional, and
I don't handle emotion well. And
she
so
doesn't.
I just remember just being like, I'm so sorry, Caleb. And so he was just like, no, it's fine. You know, it is what it is. But he's like crying, and he was like, I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. And it just made me feel worse as a person. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then I grabbed my coffee, and I got up, and I left.
Left me sitting there, crying my eyes out.
I did. Just thinking about that makes me tear up.
But really. No, it was thanks.
I'm sorry.
So that was, and I remember that happening. It was just like, wow, how did that happen?
And then I saw him at church for a second service.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't know, Santa Claus wasn't real. On that note, we have a game to play.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play a game, and it's going to be Who Knows Who Best. Basically, that's what the game is going to be.
Yes.
So the first question is, what do you like best about me?
So you're going to answer for what I would say, and then I'm going to answer about what you would say.
Yes.
So, what's the question again?
What do you like best about me? So what do I like best about you?
You like best about me... Okay, how much I love my family.
Yes.
How much I love my family.
That's a good one.
And how much I love serving the Lord.
Yes.
Would those be top two?
Those weren't my top two.
Okay, what were your top two?
Mine was how much you love your family.
Okay. Go on.
And then how smart you are. Oh. I love how smart you are.
I'm not going to think of that myself.
But it's not what you think of yourself, it's what I think of you. What I would say.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Because he's really smart. He doesn't like to think he is, but he's extremely smart.
It's just hard work.
That takes being smart, because not everyone wants to put in that hard work.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, what would my two things be?
What do you like best about me? Maybe how funny I am.
Okay.
And stop. Is it how much I love people?
Close.
What is it?
Remember the one person who was going through a hard time?
Oh, my heart for people.
Yeah, just like your heart for ministering to people. Not just heart for people, but when people are in a hard time, a hard situation.
Yeah.
You're just there for them.
Yeah, he always says like I have a lot of wisdom.
Would you rather give up music or television for a month?
You would rather give up... I'm going to say television. No, I'm going to say music.
Final answer?
I'm going to say music.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because there's different shows and stuff I just like to have on in the background.
It's how he zones out.
Yeah, it's just the sound of people. Again, my background, people talking. And so for me in the background, just hearing people talking, having fun, being creative, to me, that's very relaxing.
Yeah.
And for you, very obviously,
I'd give up TV.
you would give up TV
I would
because
give up.
music is like,
My thing.
yes, it's just on.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Funny.
there we go.
Yeah. Well, we knew that one about each other. Okay.
Ask me this one.
This one?
Yeah, ask me that one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. This one will be easy.
Okay, so which movie do you most regret wasting 2 hours of your life on?
Wasting.
Me Before You.
Yes.
I also feel like a very bad wife for making him watch that movie because it wrecked him for a few days.
I don't know why.
I don't know
It's
why.
just something about that movie. It just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's not even bring it up. But he's right. For me, it was Gladiator.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like it could have been way better. I felt like the story plot line, like, was very whack. Like, how did he become, like, this big-time dude, and then the king dies, and he wanted him to become king, and then the brother kissed him or whatever, and they weren't really brothers, and then he, like, basically sold him, killed his family, and then sold him into slavery, and then he became a gladiator. I said, this makes no sense. Like, I felt like there should have been more development in his character. And then when he became the gladiator, like, it should have been completely different. I just feel like the movie was stupid. And it was very much a waste of my 2 hours. Like, I could have been doing something else.
And I completely 100% disagree with that. That is a top 5 movie for me.
I just feel like so many people talk about Gladiator like it's some great movie, and it makes no sense because I don't understand. Like, there was no character development.
There was, though.
There wasn't, though.
There was.
There wasn't, though. He literally went from killing people as a soldier to killing people as a gladiator.
He was a general fighting for an ideal that he believed that the Caesar, the emperor, was working towards. And all of a sudden, that's something that he is going to go and sacrifice his family time for to be able to go to Rome and help this ideal become a reality. And then the guy who basically was like his brother betrays him, kills the guy who's his father figure, says that they're going to go and kill his family, and that leads to him going and be able to escape and get back, and his family is killed. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie. And his family dies. His family, that one thing that seems to be like his rock, his ideals are destroyed. His family was like his rock. They were destroyed. But you didn't even
see like his relationship with his family, but only in his like memories, which makes me wonder, like, did he really care about his family? There was no character development. You didn't really get to see him with his family.
But that was one of those things. That's why it's such good storytelling, because
no, it wasn't.
You know what his character is through this, and you see how it destroyed him, and you see his quest for revenge, and then within that quest for revenge,
it seemed like he was upset. We're just going to agree to disagree.
Me Before You, horrible movie. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Now, am I answering for myself or am I answering for you?
You're answering for what I would have said.
About you?
Yes. What
you wanted to be, what was it? Oh, it was like a pilot, archaeologist, missionary. I don't think the missionary part is actually right, but I do know, was it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah! He basically, he wanted to be Indiana Jones.
Christian Indiana Jones, yes.
Okay. What phone app are you most obsessed with?
You are going to answer that I am obsessed. We'll go with 2.
Okay.
I am obsessed with YouTube because of how many shows and stuff I love watching, like Dude Perfect, Dangy Bros, guys who have, people who have channels that they just are doing something fun they love. It's just inspiring me. So, YouTube. And there's a game that I like to play called Shop Titans.
And my app that I think you would say.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Close your eyes. Plug your ears. TikTok and Instagram. Okay.
Okay, so
What are
I
you two?
think you would say TikTok because I'm always on TikTok and I'm always showing you videos from that. And Instagram because I like my Instagram.
I called that completely. Come on. Come on. All the apps on your phone. Those are the two that
Those are the two that I'm on. Yeah,
Which is funny. You love TikTok, but you don't make TikToks. You just love watching them.
One, I'm always tired. Okay, I'm pregnant. Like,
This
I'm
is
not
true.
about to be dancing on
This is true.
TikTok. I don't feel like it.
Post baby.
Post baby is a whole nother situation. I will definitely be doing.
And Instagram.
Yes.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We decided this video is a little bit too long, so we decided to split it up into 2 parts. So check back next week, same time, same place, to find out the finishing part of how we eventually started dating for real. Okay, so please click right here to subscribe. Click right here to see another video that from a past thing that we've done. Have a great day. Remember, life is complicated but simple at the same time. God bless.